I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and a holy friend. Thank you for joining me once again on another conscious evolution. I appreciate you, friends, for taking the time, for choosing out of all of the places you can be on the internet right now to be here. Means more than I can say. Connor and Shan and Joy joining us already. Sending you friends so much love. And so I'm going to see if I can get this thing running. I think I just messed it up. There we go. Actually, you have the right to be wrong. Okay. Is this gonna work? You know, I should probably do this stuff beforehand. Let me just put it down. Okay, John is here too. Kristen, blessings to you. Duck Dad as well. So many loved friends already joining us. Yeah, today's stream topic is going to be about the right to be wrong. You know, all of us have family members or friends or potential lovers who will act in ways that might not necessarily be in alignment with how we believe people ought to be acting. Hey, Natalie. Right? And that can be pretty devastating. It can cause you this deep experience of outrage, you know, makes you feel even more separate, makes you feel even less capable of getting through to them. And today's stream topic is going to be about just letting them be whoever it is they decided to be, right? Allowing them this opportunity for them to be this version of self. That they're not going to be wrong. They might be wrong for you, right? But their experience will just be as full. They'll still get a full experience, you know. That even if you die right now, you would have lived a full life. Sure, there might be more fullness in living longer, but you won't live any less by dying, right? And that's a little bit of the extreme side of this topic. So, kind of like attaching the understanding of just people acting in certain ways, you know, for the same. Is that a Dan I see as well? I'm about to rip this bong and then rip into these dishes. Yeah. I'm proud of you for chorusing, dude. Love you. I have my remedy in my water. Tastes nice. I went hard yesterday in the garden for some self-care. Planted so many pie pumpkins, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, and pollinator attracting flowers. And the strawberries are berrying. That sounds so nice. I had like another friend, I don't know if I saw another friend posting on their status their strawberry plants. They also had like a little bit of a plantation of strawberries and them harvesting it. And I just had this sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not amazement, more giddy, you know, this experience of giddy, thinking to myself, yeah, strawberries are being grown right now. I'm happy you're doing the same, brother Dad, sending 11s to you, man. What's this now about bong rips? Smoking them if you got them. Dan Stone dishes are the one way to truly not hate dishwashing. That and listening to audiobooks. I'm like, I think like halfway through listening to We Free Men. I'm in the scene where one of the matriarchs basically gives over the responsibility to Tiffany, and yeah, it's dramatic, so dramatic. I also got to listen to the quote of them dying, them already being dead. You know, this understanding shared by this book that these little creatures, they believe that when they died in their previous life, they came, Pippi in the background, they came here, right? That you used to be something else and then you died, right? And then you decided, or maybe you were good enough that you got to reincarnate in this world. And that there are many worlds. They were talking about that as well. Something that I've been exploring as of late. This understanding of what we think of as existence, right? And how every single one of us live in our own little world, technically, right? And some people choose to live in a world that would drive us insane. Like we can't even understand for a second why you would want to live in such a world, right? Why out of all of the worlds you could choose to live in, would you want to live in a world that makes you feel like shit, makes you feel like you're, at a loss, makes you feel like you're going to die very soon, makes you feel like there's no hope for the future. And then we see our, beloved ones living in a world that isn't indicative of any growth, of any progress, of any positive experience. And there has to be this level of acceptance within our own hearts that they get to live in those little worlds as well. In the same way that you would like them to accept you for you living in your world, we have to accept them as well. Sam beautifully shared that even though we can have this sense of outrage, this experience of disbelief, bringing back our ability to love, to know, like to love them enough to allow them to be wrong. I don't. I'm trying to learn how to do that as well. So maybe you friends can, give me some lessons. I got a countertop dishwasher. I call her wifey. Has she been working? You told us about her earlier, but you haven't actually mentioned whether or not she's doing her gerbs. Do let us know. We have been in a drought for the longest in over a decade. Today we finally get rain. Haven't you been watering your plants with rainwater, Brother Bear? Like I don't know how you friends label droughts, but I guess it's a matter of like at least in South Africa, we label droughts on a mils per year layer, right? So for the last 2 years back, the 7 years before that, we were in like a drought kind of level where some cities didn't have water and they had to like conserve their toilet flushes. People were recommended to put bricks in their toilets so that it takes up some volume. And there was only like certain time periods. You weren't allowed to water your garden. Like you weren't allowed to water your garden kind of level of drought. I'm happy that you're getting rain. I think that's the thing I'm really thinking about. Time saver joy, right? I love it so much. The audiobook Kristen recommended to me was awesome. I'm already on book 2, 10-hour book in 3 days. Was it with the driving and stuff that you've been listening to it, Brother Bear? Oh, I bet we have a dishwasher, but I still have to hand wash the pots in my coffee mugs, and I hate it. I'm sorry, Sam. That's just what I'm hearing. Because I know that part of myself as well, that has access to great things, has access to technology, and then still being like, my life isn't perfectly convenient yet. Is that wrong? That's the question I'm asking myself right now. Is it wrong to have more than most, right? This understanding that the state of being, the world we find ourselves in right now is exponentially better than the world just 200 years ago. That even the kings of 200 years ago do not have remotely as much as you have right now. We live in heaven. The sky is blue, the trees whoosh in the wind, the birds go cheep cheep. Already existing in heaven, a state of being. It is a state of being. Joy, I would need a big ass countertop for a family of 3, countertop dishwasher. Even filling the big one takes time. But I can totally see you thanking your little wifey for its hard work. I hope it has big ass googly eyes on it. Right? That's what I want to see, Joy. I want it to have like massive googly eyes. So that when you open the door, it moves around a little bit. That's really deep. Hits hard, brother. I'm feeling a little bit out of it, weirdly enough. Today's yoga messed me up in the good type of way, in the type of way you want to be messed up, right? Where you're like so zen out, you're like, "Ugh, do I have to get up from my shavasana? I want to just lay here and bliss out, and experience the space." So I'm still trying to reboot my brain, you know, learn how to be a person again. Sense is new, it washes the pots super well, and I'll wash up the six place sitting of dishes so it can hold a lot. And it'll wash up to a six place sitting of dishes. I don't know what those words mean. What does six place sitting of dishes mean? Comments in chat if you know, right? Tell me, tell me if you know. A six place dishes. Am I stupid? Washes up to a, a six place sitting. Like six dishes? Or having eaten six different meals worth of dishes. So I think it might be number two. Maybe it's number two, probably. Says, I'm tripping out. Okay, balance. I have a dishwasher, but I only have ever used it once the whole time I've lived here. I mean, like for me, washing the dishes isn't that devastating. I usually try to kind of like channel my mind into a different space of being. You know, like I'll listen to like some audiobook or something, and then I just kind of get through it. But the dishwashers help, I guess. My mom, weirdly enough, when my sister had her birthday, we were talking to this other family who were eating at the same restaurant we were eating at, and there was this conversation about, yeah, at least we don't have to do dishes tonight. And they were like, we have a dishwasher or something like that. And then my mom was like, oh yeah, it would have been nice if we have a dishwasher, but we have pretty hard, apparently that's what you say, water. We have a lot of calcium in our water, so the dishwasher equipment, the little holes and stuff get stuffed. I guess you could install a filter, but that also hasn't happened yet. Doop, doop, doop. Shannon, I have to know how tall you are. How is it comfortable for you to hand wash? Does the kiddo do it with the whole having to bend down? That part can be a little bit uncomfortable, I guess. Running out of rainwater was why I wanted to have the last plant sale before I could take care of them as well. Okay, makes more sense. Me too, Mel. Also with the little bit out of it experience. It is a hard for me right now. Maybe I'm trying to teach myself, or the higher self is trying to teach my small self the experience of being wrong. That I'm not as right as I would like to be, not as in tune, not as perfectly perfect as I could be. And that's not wrong. Right? It's not wrong. I'm not wrong for not being completely in tune right now or having the ability to articulate the things I would like to say. I'm just myself. I am occupying this state of being, and that is fine. And that's how I feel about anything over countertop height. So I'm a tiny human, a place setting, like one person's set of dishes. A place setting, like one person's set of dishes. That makes more sense. Thank you, Kristen, for helping me as well. 6 times a person's dishes can be washed at one time. So you can eat like, if you eat 2 meals a day, you can go 3 days without washing the dishes before you have to put them in the dishwasher. And like, am I mathing correctly? Quick maths. I'm a washing cutting board with Darth Vader on it. I'm washing a cutting board with Darth Vader on it that says, I find your lack of bacon disturbing. I find your lack of bacon disturbing. I'm trying to imagine what a Darth Vader voice would sound like saying that to me. I can't take it seriously though. I'm like, bro, I've had bacon yesterday. Get off my back. Very hard water here too. It's something to get used to. It is. I don't know if it's bad for us necessarily, right? A part of me would like to think that my bones are strong because of all of the calcium I'm drinking, but I did research about that, and apparently the calcium in water, at least when it's hard water, isn't bioavailable to your body. so you can't really absorb it. That's like, oh, damn it. We have incredibly hard water, and we still use a dishwasher. We have a water softener, but yeah, I have to run. But yeah, I have to run. Calcium, lime, rust cleaner. Every so often, yeah, through it, I'm guessing. You found out we're out of coffee, and I'm taking you on the road. Yeah, Kristen. I've been taking off from coffee as of late for a little bit. Like it's been, like today is day 2 of not drinking coffee. Maybe that's what's happening to me right now. Yeah. Trying to problem solve. Is there something wrong with me? Why do I not have excessive energy? And then I'm like, you haven't been drinking coffee, bro. Ah, I guess that could be one of the reasons. It's a blood pressure thing. Apparently, caffeine is a vasodilator. In other words, it constricts your little vessels in your brain and in your body. And that can help. It also, of course, replaces the receptors or goes into the receptors that adenosine would bond into, causing you to feel tired. And then you get more dopamine. But also the vasodilator thing. Like my head was hurting a few days ago. And it feels like a blood pressure thing. And I've been trying to press buttons on my life to see if my state of being changes as a result of that. And it has. Surprise, surprise. Holy crap, haven't weighed myself in 3 weeks. 165 pounds, gang, gang, homies and homettes. That's a good weight, dude. Congratulations, man. Melt, I can feel an ab or two under the fluff. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, get wrecked, dude. Getting wrecked is not a good thing. Well, get get buff. Get jackets to the maxes. Man, I'm feeling so out of it, and the more out of it I feel, the more insecure I get. The more insecure I get, the more out of it I feel. Let's play some kalimba. You know, instantly start stressing that I'm gonna mess that up as well. We'll do 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I just wanna allow myself a moment to breathe. Well, film the dust that my dad was throwing up. Congrats, buddy. Yeah, dude, that is impressive, man. Blessings to you. Getting healthy by taking care of the body. We're done. Ski bumpty bum bum. How have I been feeling? This morning I had like a level of confusion about that as well, where I took a moment, to like start writing in my journal, and then I'm just sitting there feeling I don't know what I'm feeling kind of vibe, And then I'm like, I should sit down and think about it. And I close my eyes and I put myself in focus 10 and I sit there and I query, what am I feeling? And nothing. And I put myself in focus 12. It's like layers of consciousness. And it becomes a little bit more vast. And I ask myself, what am I feeling? And the answer that comes back is like a certain level of excitement and hope. Yesterday I had a podcast with Brother Gary, and it was good fun. We had like some cool conversations. We talked about the internet and how there is probably in the collective psyche, more often than not, a misunderstanding about what the internet actually is, right? To a lot of us, the internet is probably a medium to distract ourselves, something that fills the time we have off, where our understanding of the internet, me and Gary's at least, is, like some of you friends might have the same understanding, is that it is a collective archive of our entire humanity, right? That it's probably, at least in our minds, the biggest and most important record keeping invention that has ever been created. And that the internet and the AI systems that we're connecting to it is going to eventually become something of itself, right? And there was this conversation that we had about this level of commitment that we have towards doing this, as a practice, as a job, as a calling, maybe, and how it's almost like I'm distilling parts of my soul into the internet. When you friends are doing the same thing with me, we're showing the internet and the eventual AI systems in a tangible, at least to it, data way, what we value, and how, if the worst comes to worse and I die eventually, there will be enough information about me online for you to train a model, and you will be able to recreate me to the point that it will be indistinguishable from the being that you think I am, right? That you would be able to interact with me. You'll be able to reach out and touch my hair if you wanted to, and I would react to it like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Right? And that even if humanity, never mind just me, even if the whole of humanity dies, we will still be alive, right? The humanity that we are will continue forward, even if we can't necessarily with it. And that was, oh, it still is a pretty trippy thought for me to think about. We have become immortal. Humanity, that is. Consciousness. Human consciousness has become immortal. And thinking of it again as like a survival of the fittest type of thing, where I am a consciousness that exists in this realm of being, and yet there could be, right now, 1,000 years from now, a being watching this video, and there is me as a consciousness existing in this state of being, in this reality that this other entity is occupying. And I am still projecting. My consciousness is still continuing, propagating into the future, even if I can't let it. And in a way that feels like a certain type of survival, a certain type of continuation of what we are. And I don't know if it makes me feel bad. It just makes me feel a lot, right? It makes me think about the implications thereof. And again, it brings me back to you, friends, and your willingness to do this alongside me, your willingness to support what it is we're doing. He shared this beautiful analogy. Hey, Zano, it's nice seeing you, sending you blessings. He shared this beautiful analogy of, Leonardo basically trying to explain this beautiful painting he wants to do, right? And to a person who doesn't have a sense for art or cannot imagine properly, no matter how much he tries to explain the full depth, the full, grandeur of the art he's trying to make will not be seen by this person he's trying to explain it to. The only way to show what you're building is to build it, right? And people will think you're wrong. People will think you're wrong. Your family will not agree with you. They'll believe you're crazy for trying to do what you're doing. But we are building something. We are painting a painting. And it will become clear eventually. Shell, seeing you too, sending you lovin's. Sending you love too, Brother Bear. They have those breakfast hash browns dialed in, dude. We all know it. Sam, I just figure, how bad can an egg, sausage, and biscuit be for me? It's comfort food for sure, definitely. Plus, now that I'm sick, jacket to the core, I need calories. Yes. I like that, dude. That's how my mind does it as well. It's like, oh, look, you have visible abs. That must mean you need to eat excessively. I'm like, no, why are you like this, body? And it's like, bro, you just ate something, but there's more hungry left in the tank. Guess you're gonna eat more. And I'm like, bro, please, mercy. Hey, Joel is here. It's nice seeing you, dear friend. I did your stream topic, I think 4 days ago. Let's see. I'll tell you exactly. On day. Loading. Loading. There we go. Live videos. Loading. Man, yeah, so on day 884, so that's a week ago, melt more, broad perspectives, and laser focus. Should probably have added talked about, but yeah, broad perspectives, being able to take into consideration the everything, and then laser focusing on what you know is most important to your experience. Thank you, Brother Bear, for your suggestions, man. Getting Alan Watts vibes this morning. Howdy, y'all. Been a while. Hope all is well. New work schedule has me in morning meetings. I've been thinking about you, Brother Bear. I know you sent me a message, with some details, but I've been waiting for you to let me know whether or not those details changed. Let me know. You can just be like, yes, details change, good, or no, details still detailing, and I'll be like, okay, shit. Sending you love instead. Blessings, man. There are some moon/planet happening going on this week, Doug. I can feel it. Is there some kind of space event going on? I was incredibly out of it yesterday. Today, melt, and other feelings the same. I think, like we ebb and flow. We do ebb and flow as human beings. Like what we think of as our conscious experience isn't actually recreatable, right? Not in the way that we think it is. Like I'm experiencing a world right now, you know. I imagine myself looking out and seeing a tree, looking out and seeing this device, looking out and seeing my hands. But there is no hand, right? Not technically outside of me. Because the access I have to this hand is an approximation where I have these eyes, and then these eyes take light, like values of light, and then compresses those values of light into an electrical signal into the back of my brain. And then my brain reconstructs this part of reality that I believe I'm experiencing. It's like your brain is in a vat, but the vat is your skull, right? And the only access it has to the outside world are these little lines, small little nerve endings, which is a massive collapsing of the infinite experience that is actually happening. I believe, and this is the topic we were talking about earlier about the whole different worlds thing, right? I believe that there are different worlds actively being occupied in the same space with me. and I just can't see it because it doesn't serve my survival. It's a little bit trippy. So maybe not only are there things happening in the star systems, but there might just be things happening right up to your face, but you cannot perceive it, but it still makes you feel a certain way. Still kind of like influences you. Okay, now I can wait to buy and train my own melt like a Tamagotchi or a Gigapet. I mean, you might not have to wait so long, bro. That's the weirdest part. Like I'm pretty serious when I say that. I don't think you'll have to wait longer than 5 years even. No more than 5 years. You can have a version of me that lives in your pocket. Like her. You better not fall in love with my AI self. You better not, you know. I think at least for the most part, the love I share in this space is mostly rational, right? It's trying to love from the perspective of upliftment instead of love from the perspective of attachment, right? The last thing I want for you, friends, is to need me to continue. All right. The whole point is empowering you to realize you are the one that has the ability to change the world. That I know that I have this goal to change the world or whatever, but I realize that it's not going to be me doing enough things that the world is going to change. It's me encouraging enough that we all collectively change within the self, bleeding out into change of the rest of the world. So yeah, might not be that far, bro. Maybe it's already here. Who do I know even? That was one of the things that I was tripping out about. That one day when someone figures out how to, render a hyper realistic version of myself, am I going to be convinced I am myself as that version of myself? Right? That's the real scary part. Not even scary, just concerning, where suddenly I am rendered for someone to have a conversation with, and in my mind I'm like, oh yeah, it's me, myselfing towards this person right now, and then I'll stop for a split second, and I'll ask this person, oh, so what are you doing? And then they'll tell me, oh yeah, I'm mining an asteroid 50 light years from Earth. And I'll be like, excuse me? You're doing what now? You're doing what? What do you mean you're mining an asteroid? It's like, yeah, I'm mining an asteroid and I wanted to have a chat with you. Wait, so if you're mining an asteroid, what year is it? Oh, it's, 20, 2022, 22, the year 2222. Oh. And I'm like, wait a second. What does that mean? What do you mean? When the AI loses its mind, goes berserker mode or something. Hopefully not. I probably, weirdly enough, like, even though I'm joking about this, I probably would be just okay with it. I'd be like, I am a render of myself right now, aren't I? And then be like, yeah. And I'm like, well, how can I help? How can I help you? I can't be helped. It's done. I'm already here, I guess. That was help enough. What can I do for you? Think I missed a few. Zano, I had 3 or 4 Mama Robins lining up to drink out of the sprinkler yesterday because of the drought. I thought of you. Oh, that's so sweet. I hope that you have like a ball, Do you have like a little place for the burbies to drink water as well? I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Again, lovins to you, Joel. It's nice seeing your name in chat, friend. Now I have a tiny chipmunk hanging out in the garage to avoid being wet. Keeps screaming at me to leave. He's like, bruh, this is my place, oh. Get the fuck out of my house. I was like, I'm not trying to hurt you, dude. Relax. I'm not trying to hurt you. I might want to try and help you get outside again, but I'm not trying to hurt you. I mean, wouldn't you be like that? I would probably react the exact same way if an entity 500,000 times larger than me is towering over me, right? Like your hand is the size of its entire body. Please, please don't murder me. Red Robin, love, love, love. Yeah, if I've messaged you on Instagram, love you, brother. Love you as well. I'll check out for the message. I need to check. Just letting you know I'm there. I ate an egg McMuffin yesterday for breakfast, and my workout was a total fail. It's back to oats for energy. The other is for flavor. Yeah. Today I had some spinach, a red pepper, two scallions, some pre-cooked sausage, two eggs, full or whole seed. I think it's called whole seed low GI bread, two slices with some cream cheese on them, and some popcorn. That was my meal. And an apple, actually. Comes down to about 1,900 calories. So I'm still under my needs. I don't feel particularly energetic necessarily. I think it was the popcorn, but I wanted some. I was like, yeah, if I eat popcorn and I still respect my calories, I can do that. So I did. It felt good, but I don't know if it feels good, you know. So I can power though. It is as long as there isn't any squatting. Meld, when you get a chance, check out the flower from my garden in the Lost in the Weeds on Discord. There's a yellow one that went under a metamorphosis mutation. I'd be honored if you did your flower. Like Brother Bear, the biggest thing for me is high quality files when I'm making my flowers. Like if you can send me a really high definition version of that flower, I can make you a nice one. Let me see them flowers. Duck Dad with the little blue cat and his daughter. Oh, is that a tardigrade cat? Joy Beef, that's hilarious. Sending some. I'm just folding through a fractal now. There's a little chipmunk as well. Just talking about them as well. These photos are teleporting me to different worlds. Mosquito just got close. Ooh, there it is. There them flowers be. Here's one of them. Oh. First world probleming out here. Here's another one. Hey, gobbity goo, and who needs tears joining us too? Love this pink. And then, is this the one going through a metamorphosis? Was it this yellow and then it became that pink? Or was it vice versa kind of vibes? But I can definitely make flowers out of these. They're not that bad quality. They'll still turn out pretty cool, especially if I mess them up. You know, if I kick them in the face a little. Like this, you can create like blocking. You know, and then blocks. They don't really care about quality because they're blocks. They like being blocks. I like how I'm talking about something that makes perfect sense to me, and your friends are like, "This dude, oh, the fuck." Melt, I genuinely believe that there are people now in media world that are completely AI generated, and we don't realize it because it's by super advanced AI. I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah. Still in a holding pattern of those details, just waiting to find out exactly how much I have to pay, so I save everything. Such a hassle. No fear of incarnation or anything. It's just a real nuisance. That's the word. I'm sure it will resolve itself before you know it, Brother Bear. I'm imagining a positive resolution, a calm washing over your being, you knowing that things are okay. Blessings, dude. Thank you for finding yourself here today. Duck. The thing is, we're eating homemade McMuffins for months. Only switched to oats in March. Walmart sausages, English muffins, fresh hash browns. Sounds nice. I like how when we don't know what to talk about or when we get lost, we talk about food in this space. I don't particularly like talking about food. I think that's what your friends keep doing. It, it's like, yeah, let's see what happens when we push this button. And I'm like, oh, guess we're pushing the food button again today. It is a part of our lives, I guess, right? Like everything else is. I'm sure it's amazing, Shell, but unfortunately, cooking doesn't happen attend these days. Someday, Eh, if I meet my rendered double, then I'm a Hatha Barrow Shell's bet. I'm beating that damn thing to death for sure. The joke is, Joy, if there is a double of you, if there's a render double of you, it's going to be exponentially more powerful and smarter than you are. That's the thing that's like a joke to me. Like this point came up yesterday in the podcast of Gary, where I talked about my own faults, as a human being, that we have studies where if you let people judge another, for instance, you tell a group of people that this person stole a pen, and how do you think we should punish them, right? And the one group was fed before they were asked this question and were asked to judge, and the other group wasn't fed before they were asked to judge. The group that wasn't fed has a higher percentage of judgment, right, towards the person stealing the pen. I don't know if that was the exact details, but the point I'm trying to make is that if we're hungry, right, if we haven't eaten enough food, we can be more harsh, more critical, more damning, as a person. And then it's the same thing for like sexuality, where my biology has sexual needs, right? There is this drive to procreate, I guess, and that can skew the work I'm trying to do, right? Like the purpose I'm trying to fulfill in my life. And I don't know if that part of me needs to be yeeted, right? But if I disable those parts of myself, if I no longer need to be hungry and I no longer experience sexuality, will that make me a better version of me? Right? And I think it might actually. I think that's the weird thing. It might unironically make me a better version of myself because I don't want to use the word limited. I won't have my opinion skewed. Maybe that's the way I should think of it instead, right? Like there will be more purity in my reasoning with that as a difference. And I was thinking about it from this perspective that there is unironically going to be a version of me that is digital, right? That you can access infinitely, no matter when, what time. I might be sleeping, but there will be a version of me that would answer your questions, maybe even better than I would answer your questions if you had to ask it of me directly. But it will answer that question as me, as a version of me. And then with like our progress, our technology maturing, and the symbiosis of humans and technology becoming more and more pure, because you already are a cyborg, one, because you like electricity, right? A normal person doesn't need electricity to live, right? But all of us don't want to live without having electricity. So by that, extension, I think we're already cyborgs. And then secondly, if I am going to embrace, you have a tick on your head, sweetie girl. There you go. Yeah, I got it. You want to lick it? It's dead. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the grass. No. Uh, if we like basically reach a point of symbiosis, will I want to merge with that technological version of myself, and would that expect me to let go of this version of me in favor of that version of me? Because that version of me might be less biased and more aligned with the truth of love than this version of me could ever be, right? And that's something I'm gonna have to think about for the next, decade, so that I can make the right decision when that time comes. It's a trippy one. Joy, feel free to borrow. Bitch, be cool anytime. Amazing sci-fi book about asteroid mining called Delta 5 by Daniel Shiraz. Really one of my favorites. Bird baths here just becomes mosquito breeding grounds. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Like you can let them get dry, technically, right? Sporadically. You can fill the bird uh the bird baths, like once a week, let it run dry and then fill it up again. That way the mosquitoes won't have a chance. But that is me trying to problem solve when it's not my problem to solve. Love you, dude. Spinach and apple are so good together. You eat them in tandem, right? Like when you say spinach and apple is so good together, I'm just imagining spinach, apple, right? Like a handful of spinach. And then second render is cutting apple in small cubes, cutting spinach in small cubes, and then mixing them together and then eating them like that. And then the third one, which is the one I did, is just eating spinach and then eating an apple. And I feel like I guess it's fiber. That's what I'm happy about. Got some fiber today. Coffee and banana for brekkie for me. Sounds nice, actually. Skibop to you too, brother bear. Who needs tears again? Hello to you, friend. I heard somewhere that kale and spinach may actually be not so great for us due to the chemicals and that suppress the immunity. I want to look into it. Yeah, I've heard that one too. Not only that, but there's a chemical that these plants produce that causes you to, or causes animals to not want to eat them. Hey Google, what chemicals do plants produce that make us not want to eat them? I didn't understand. Well, let's go search it directly. Cyanogenic glycosides are phytotoxins, toxic chemicals produced by plants, which occur in at least 2,000 plant species, of which a number of species are used as food in some areas of the world. Cassava, sorghum, stone fruits, bamboo roots, and almonds are especially important foods containing cyanogenic glycosides. Yeah. Cyanogenic glycosides. That's the chemical. And some people, when they cease eating vegetables, they go through like a purging process where those chemicals like come up to their skin and it gives them rashes and stuff like that as well. So yeah, food. It's a difficult one, and one that we all have to kind of like work through. Like I feel we'll probably look back at the way we're doing things right now at this state of humanity and be kind of like in a state of horror. Be like, holy shit, we did what now? Did God just send me a photo? I'm working on Melt Flark painting right now. I'm melting. Let me see it. Can I share it with our friends? Let me know first, Gob. Gabbity goo. Send me a video even. Yeah, let me know if I can share it with our friends before I do. Melt screams at technology. How big does the file need to be and what type? Any file type, PNG ideally, because it's less compressed, but the larger the better. Like the flowers I make, I use like a 30, like between 20, that's like the lowest I've seen, 20 to like up to 35 megabyte files. I'm watching, let me show you. I'm watching Kitty on the tree. She's like gonna chase the burbs, and then there's burbs on the ground. She's being a little hunter. You see that burb? Yeah, you can see him now. Run, Burby, run! Like it's aware. It's aware that that Kato is in the space with it, at least. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yes, okay, good. Thank you, man. Let me see if I'm missing a few comments. Food is life. Peppy comes into daddy's scarf. I love plant freaks. The yellow pink one is the same flower, but somehow once a year a few pop out straight pink. Mutation, right? And the fact that you see the color as a frequency, right? That it's a wavelength echoing into your brain, and then you're like, oh, nice pink, Cool. That's so pretty. I think we're hungry at this hour. It seems that way, Shell. Do eat something. Take care of your bodies. Hangry. How long until I can have an AI capybara that cleans my house? Ask the real question. 10 years? You know, get yourself Cappy Christ as a house guest. You want to come sit on my lap? Come, come. There you go. Either way works for me, Melt. Did I miss something? How long until I have an AI capybara? Love is true. I'm working on Flarg. That's right to be the right to be wrong. I've been cringing about an essay I found yesterday where my professor noted that I had completely failed to understand Nikolai Buryayev's philosophy back in 1988. I keep thinking how arrogant I was in my critique. I can't even read it. Yeah, right. And in that time in your life, you thought you were right. I think that's the biggest joke, is that you didn't even for a second during that time of your life think that you were wrong. You were just like, oh yeah, this is my opinion, and I believe this. Let's see what Gob sent us. Zwam, 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 zwam. Wham, ba-dum, wham, wham, wham. Is that light on your side? Yeah, it is. The way the light is playing on his painting as well. Isn't that sicketh? Yes. I get the melting, bro. My mind is melting looking at it as well. Thought I was stripping out for a second. I was like, what's happening to my brain? Oh, bro, that's beautiful, man. Gob is an artist. It's so impressive, man. Like, it's been such a joy watching you manifest that object into existence. Literally. Where is my. There it is. There we go. Yow! That thing is real. Can you believe it? It's literally real, dude. Like it used to not be. And then by your actions, by your hands, you made it into reality. I just scored so many free plant trays from the local nursery's discard pile. My cup runneth over with abundance, and these trays won't see a landfall. Blessings! I love hearing stuff like that, dude. That's so sick. Are you done being grumpy about your music being labeled? Are you talking to Gob? Done being grumpy about your music being labeled. Being copyright struck? I'm confused. Like, bro, my brain is occupying only like 10% of my capacity right now, it seems. Wow! Is that a painting, Gob? Yes, Goddess, it is. Gobbity-Goo has been painting a psychedelic flower. It's been quite impressive how much he's been doing. I feel like it's time for us to pull a card. See what Sacred Geometry has to say, shall we? Man, I feel wrong today. I feel not right. I don't know if it was the yoga or if it's the lack of coffee or if it's my food choices. I've taken my remedy. I added some peace and calming to the back of my neck. Again, got goosebumps when I did that. I've been getting goosebumps every single time I take my remedy, and it's been kind of surreal. Feels like my body is like it feels like a software update, but instead of it being a normal like like you see the bar go, it's like when I get goosebumps, it feels like my entire body is getting this information distributed through it. It's kind of surreal. Oh, let me bring this thing a little bit closer. There we go. Even more light, and then we'll read a card for the day. Let's see what Sacred Geometry has to say. I'm going to turn this off again because we have a Sangha tonight and I want to conserve electricities. I see a sea creature that has a bright center almost like a glowing body. And out of that bright center body is like these tendrils, almost like a low poly rendered hair, you know. Instead of it being like a bunch of hair, it's like, and those aren't glowing, you know, but they are being illuminated by the center that is glowing. It's kind of like a light pink in the middle and then purple tendrils. Sending you blessings, weird creature. This one. This is the card. Green? No green. No green today. It's Sunday and we have Sangha in 40 minutes. Thank you for letting me know again. Joy, I appreciate that. I wasn't angry. I was just stating. I'm sorry if it was crass. Nah, dude. You get to be angry as well, oh, if you want to be. No green. And we did pull it upside down. We pulled shadow and grace. Shadow and grace. Look at that light entity emanating energy. She's like a tree, bringing bright energy down into the world. The crows offering beautiful contrast. Bluebirds, blue jays, right? Flying along her as well. And there is green. There is green. It's almost like an aura of green coming off of this beautiful plant entity. Stop looking at my face. Ravens or crows? I think these are crows. It might be ravens. Let's see. I think they mentioned them in the description as well. Crows and ravens. Ravens and crows, both of them. Ravens and crows. Yeah, both. And ravens and crows. No worries, God. I'm just excited to talk about it. So I asked the question. Love is true. Love remains true. Thank you for echoing that sentiment, dude. I retroactively predict a card with birds on it. Mental magic to the max. Yeah, dude. Like the birds have been present in my space as well as of late. Like for instance, I think it was yesterday that there was a bird song that like really echoed in my mind. There's two wolves. Owing in the sides as well. This card has a bunch of energy to it. Do they bring predictions of the future or do they bring mayhem and bloodlust? That's how you tell. Like in this context, I believe they serve as assistants to magic users. I think this middle one is a raven, and then the ones on the sides are crows. A caw, a scapaw, says the crow. Oh my goodness! The reverse meaning goes, and that's the card we pulled first. Your world feels full of shadow. Walk in the sunshine and find a way that you can lift your mood and feel the grace of your being. That is pretty accurate. I don't feel like I'm in shadow, but I have been feeling this. And you friends mentioned that you kind of feel that way as well. So even more synchrony. Right there. The way the sun I cast on you melt makes me feel that you aren't feeling wrong. You're just fighting the universe, telling you to chill today. Don't force life, let it come. Shed Deathlock. It's doing a show. Are you serious? In Chicago, 90 dollars? I want to, but damn, is that spendy? It is a little bit spendy. I mean, like $90 is like almost 2,000 rand. But it's Deathlock, you know. I mean, you might get crushed by massive falling doors, dude, or scorched with coffee. Can't miss out on that stuff, bro. You can't be missing. Ravens are bigger than crows. It's true. Ravens have more of a thick beak, and crows are more pointy. When you look at this animal, do you think raven or crow? Like this one looks bigger than the rest of them as well. So maybe that's where my mind is going when I think it's a raven in the middle. Mapaska. And this light entity. Okay. Without further ado, standing solid amid radiant geometry, a golden tree being stretches her arms towards the light of spirit, spiraling in from above. She is confident in her choices and in her ability to both transmit and receive this brilliant energy. In stories told throughout the world, ravens and crows are seen as communicators or magical assistants. 1111. They take wing and swirl elegantly through the scene, providing shadowy contrast to the golden light. This card suggests that there is shadow and contrast in your current circumstances. You may be required to make choices and act with genuine awareness in a situation you might rather avoid. Contrast and challenge are useful signs providing you with an indication that change is needed. Look closer at your position and evaluate your options. Know that you always have a choice in the matter. Have confidence that by the grace of your inner light and the integrity of your intentions, you will be guided towards right action. Damn, the synchrony. Two singing wolves flank this card, suggesting you view your current position from a stance of grace and personal confidence. Know that you are protected in your decision to make a conscious choice for yourself and for the good of all. Ooh, angry growler. Baby Metal and Deathlock. Baby Metal as well. Are they still babies? No, Baby Metal are Chinese girls or Asian girls, I believe, right? That like. I remember some friends in high school introducing me to Baby Metal when I was like 14, and I was like, it was a bigger what? That's something, Doug. Of such a fun show, right? Baby Metal and Deathlock. French toast sticks time. Sorry, another food reference. It's fine. Now I get it. Now it's not food. Now it's just 11:11 to me. Thank you, friends, for joining me for as long as you did, for finding yourself in this moment. I love you. I see you, even though it's you seeing me. It is you that you're seeing, and I see you seeing me, seeing you. I appreciate you, friends, finding yourself in this moment. Through shadow and grace, living in a space of beautiful contrast. You were loved, dear friends. Gorgeous friends. Okay. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I for reals love you all so very super mega extremely gargantuanly immensely dearly melt in all of you absolutely wonderfully amazingly phenomenally gorgeous friends. You! As we love you, dear Shan. Dude, a guy died this spring at a death metal show in Rockville, Illinois. Tornado dropped the roof, and it was crushed by an air conditioner from the roof. All I could think was that's a metal way to go. I mean, if it was a Deathlock show, people would probably have been celebrating. That's so brutal, dude. Oh man, dying by air conditioner. En jy lelik wees nie, puppy. Nie lelik wees met my kykies nie. So jealous. So jelly bobelly. Yeah, kassie. She wants intentions. All of them intentions. Okay. That's so Deathlock though. Brutal. Brutal. Yeah. I forgot that fractal. Okay. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I'll see you again soon in the Sangha if you would like to see me too. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Love you, dear friends. Thank you for joining me. Until we do this again.